Lesson 1. Information Systems and Organizations. Welcome to Information Technology Fundamentals. Let us start by looking at how organizations use information systems. An information system is a combination of people, processes, data, and technology designed to collect, process, store, and disseminate information. This supports organizational activities and decision-making, meaning it is much more than just hardware. The Chief Information Officer, or CIO, is the executive responsible for aligning this technology strategy with the business's information needs. Information systems handle two main types of information: internal and external. Internal information originates inside the organization, like your own sales records or payroll data. External information comes from outside, like competitor prices or market reports. Systems are usually divided into three levels based on the decisions they support. Strategic systems support long-term, top-level executive decisions. Tactical systems support middle management planning and control. Finally, operational systems support day-to-day transactions and routine operations. These systems operate within an organizational chart that often uses a hierarchical structure, showing many levels of authority flowing from top executives down to operational staff. Within the syllabus limits, organizational information system types include data processing systems, knowledge-based systems, and management information systems, excluding broader categories like ERP. One specific type of management system you need to know is a decision support system, or DSS. A DSS is an interactive system that helps managers analyze data and model alternatives to support semi-structured decisions using what-if analysis. Lesson 2. Hardware, software, and processing. Now let us dive into the core hardware and software components of computing. On the hardware side, the syllabus emphasizes the von Neumann model. In this model, the central processing unit, or CPU, is the component that executes instructions. Memory is also crucial, primarily divided into RAM and ROM. RAM is typically volatile working memory used for running active programs. ROM, on the other hand, retains firmware-type contents and does not need continuous power to keep its data in the same way. When processing data, different modes are used depending on the timing requirements. For example, processing payroll once at the end of the month for all employees is a classic example of batch processing, where transactions are collected and processed together later. Moving to software, it is important to distinguish between system software and application software. System software manages hardware and resources, such as an operating system kernel and memory manager. Within the operating system, a resource allocation and process scheduler is specifically responsible for allocating CPU time among processes. To make software run, programming languages use translators like compilers and interpreters. A compiler translates the whole source program into machine code before execution. An interpreter typically translates and executes the code statement by statement. Organizations also value software portability, which is the ability of software to run on different platforms with limited rework. Finally, consider how software is distributed. Open-source software typically allows access to the source code under a license, whereas proprietary software restricts access to the source code under vendor terms. Lesson 3. Networks, Cloud, and Data Management. In this lesson, we will explore networks, cloud computing, and how organizations manage and protect their data. When computers are connected, they form a network topology. The star topology is one where every node connects to a central hub or switch. Because of this central connection, a single cable failure usually isolates only one host rather than taking down the entire network. Beyond local networks, businesses increasingly rely on cloud computing. One key cloud service model is Infrastructure as a Service, or IaaS. IaaS provides virtualized computing resources like virtual machines, storage, and networking, leaving the customer to manage their own operating systems and applications. This infrastructure often handles big data, which is characterized by the 3 V's: volume, velocity, and variety. To make sense of this massive data, analysts use data mining techniques like drill down. The purpose of drill down is to move from summarized data into more detailed underlying data for deeper investigation. Protecting all this data is critical. One method is taking a differential backup. This backup type copies only the data changed since the last full backup, meaning a full system restore usually requires just the last full backup plus the latest differential set. Finally, securing systems requires both authentication and authorization. Authentication verifies a user's identity, effectively answering who you are. Authorization determines your allowed actions and access rights, answering what you are allowed to do on the system. Lesson 4. Digital Business and the Information Society. Our final lesson covers how digital technologies impact business operations and society at large. Let us start with the difference between e-commerce and e-business. E-commerce focuses purely on online buying and selling. E-business is much broader, involving the digitalization of wider business processes beyond just sales. One popular transaction model is C2C, or consumer to consumer, which features online marketplaces where private individuals sell goods to other private individuals. Government is also digitalizing. Requesting a birth certificate online via a government portal is an excellent example of an admin-to-citizen e-government service. Education has similarly transformed through e-learning. Synchronous e-learning involves a live instructor-led online class at a set time, while asynchronous e-learning relies on self-paced modules completed at different times. To manage this, institutions use a learning management system to organize, deliver, track, and manage online learning content and learner activity. With all these online services, data privacy is a major concern. Under GDPR terminology, the data subject is the natural person whose personal data is being processed. Organizations must protect these data subjects and plan for unexpected events. The main stages of disaster planning and recovery are preparedness, response, recovery, and mitigation. Finally, working in an ICT environment requires strict attention to health and safety. Repetitive strain injury in the workplace is best reduced by using ergonomic input devices, maintaining good posture, and taking regular breaks from repetitive keyboard and mouse use. Thanks for watching. For free practice questions, study guides, and flashcards, visit exampreprise.com. Good luck on your exam!